people come on board for this, so I just talk at it, and we'll just talk to each other. Once the line didn't work at all, and it was just four of us chatting, and none of us knew until the end. So that was a great waste of everybody's time, but I enjoyed it. So for the people who haven't seen Comedy Roulette before, very simple game. It's called Comedy Roulette despite the fact I use a bingo ball, because roulette wheels are very expensive, I found when I went on the Amazon. So we've got the bingo ball. My dad, that was his first bit of feedback for me when he watched it. He was like, why is it called roulette and not bingo? I was like,
did you not have got on the arts and crafts bit?
We'd already designed the assets. So gauges.
Unless your dad.
Papa Leighton will be watching. Very, very simple rules. I've got 30 subjects. I sort of crowdsourced from Twitter, but they went a bit weird, so I didn't take them all. They're all in the ball. When the balls get called, if you have an answer, a song, an anecdote, somebody else's anecdote that you want to claim as your own, I don't care. The 10 viewers at home probably won't either. Buzz in with your sound. Now, Hannah, what is your sound?
My sound is... Oh, this is useful, isn't it? Given that I'm going to need to... Can you hear that?
Remember that, audiences?
What was that?
It was it's an app I downloaded that has a round of applause. I've started to think this is what my neighbours were using during the NHS thing, because there was all noise down here. You could never see any people.
It sounds a bit like that rattlesnake thing on Drag Race when someone says something a bit awkward.
Oh, and they're like the shade rattlesnake.
And it just goes...
Yeah, every time I put makeup on now, if it's like in a rush, I'm like, quick drag, like that is in my head. RuPaul going, go and put your quick drag on. It's like, it's not makeup that's done badly, it's quick drag.
I have to flag Vix as well. Like at some point, I might have to go and look at a toilet seat and say, yes, that looks very nice. So,
what was the brief? Like, what you expected to see in the toilet? Is it a flush issue?
We just want one that's attached rather than one that's half hanging off.
It's not a lot to ask, is it? Really?
It's pretty pitiful if two lesbians in the same house and neither of us can fix the situation. But
I fixed it several times and it keeps breaking. It's because it was never put on properly, and you need a better screwdriver than the... Catherine, don't you dare shake your head. Don't make me come in there.
I said I was shaking my head like I can't fix it.
Yeah, all right. I have a full toolkit and I have attempted to fix that toilet seat several times. It's the toilet seat, it's not me.
Okay, so if you brought... Is there a man now fixing it?
Yes, because we're...
Why is the gender of the person in the bathroom important?
Yeah, because...
In answer to your question,
yes. What is your sound then, Sarah? Is it the flush of a toilet, or...?
No, we can't afford that water bill, I'm afraid.
Nice.
Yeah? How about that? You like that?
I do. I quite enjoyed that. Catherine, what about you?
Made that up just there.
It's done with passive-aggressive clicking pen.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, I feel it. I feel that passive aggression. I expect at any moment Sarah to ask you what you're doing from one window into the other as well.
Perfect.
I've been following that.
Now I get asked it by random people, and it's very annoying.
My husband's got a similar thing where I will tell him something earlier in the day, and then later on he will tell me like he just found out. And
that's so annoying.
It's quite a fun one.
It is, because sometimes he hasn't listened, and sometimes it is the joke, and I never know which one. So I get angry each time, but only probably 1 in 3 times is the anger legitimate. So
that's funny.
Lockdown is great, isn't it? We'll have a brilliant time. Right, so without further ado, let's turn to the balls. I'm quite scared of this machine. Like, if you do it too fast, it's aggressive and they go on the floor. But if you do it too slowly, then the tension is unbearable. So,
okay.
Yeah, I'm not smooth. Oh, it's also backwards. Oh, I'm just going to turn that around. I meant that to happen. It's fine. Right, and this is ball number 23. This comes up a lot. Petty grievances. It genuinely is. I think people think I've rigged this because I want to hear other people's, but genuinely it is. I can't believe one of you hasn't got a petty grievance.
Do we do it's as quick as that? We just buzz in straight away?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, we're in. The game has started. I didn't realise. You must have a petty grievance, Catherine. You're always winning.
I have multiple. That's what I was thinking. I was like, that's surely my entire life. But
You've got lots of things that irritate you. I have one.
Go on.
Keyworth, petty grievance, go.
I have a petty grievance. My petty grievance is the amount of money Catherine spends on bin bags.
I'm going to need more information.
Most recently, so if anyone doesn't know, Catherine and I are a couple. We're not just two very rude comedians who are mean to each other. Recently,
exclusive, but sure.
Yeah, no. That was the umbrella with which the rudeness falls. Catherine recently spent £8 on 20 bin bags. I don't know if that's a petty grievance or if that is just a legitimate grievance.
What was the quality of the bin bag, though?
Vix, no, stop it. Stop it.
They essentially are like a fitted sheet for my bin. They're specifically made for the bin that I have, which is an awkward size under the sink. And they fit perfectly, they never leak. And I say my bin, I mean our bin. I would just say Sarah also benefited because interestingly her petty or sincere grievance did not extend as far as to not use the bin bag.
The difference between a fitted sheet for a bin and a fitted sheet for a bed is that you don't then immediately throw the fitted sheet for the bed away.
Oh, I didn't.
You don't cover it in food.
We just moved into our flat. We just got in our first bin. I had a little treat. I got some nice bin bags. I won't do it again. But also, can I just say, I actually bought them out of the joint account, so I actually only spent £4. You just spent £4.
I know the way you said we had our first bin.
Like do you remember your first bin, Hannah? Is that a special moment for you?
It's not your first bin, Catherine. You had bins before that, but this was
our first bin that was only
you splashed out on this bin, hadn't you? This is a special bin for you.
Yeah.
But I guess my petty grievance is, as a whole, is spending more money on something that is essentially a bin. Oh, there's a cat.
I think,
I mean, yes, you don't enjoy the fact that I spend it, but you also hate spending money, so...
Any money.
Yeah, that's true.
You gave that toilet fixing a good go before you paid someone else, and you we've already covered.
Yeah.
I mean, the worst thing is, it's a token of how much I pay attention to household tasks. So I was like, is that not how much they cost? I don't know.
In your face there, Keyworth. I wish you would just not pay attention. She never paid attention enough to change the bin bag, but she pays enough attention to notice that
Why would I change the bin bag? I spent £8 on that bin bag. We're going to get as much value out of that as possible. Why would I change it?
Good Lord.
I'm like, we can get some... We can cram a little bit. We can get a little bit more money's worth out of that bin bag. We're keeping it there.
Hannah, have you got a non-bin based grievance? Or
I don't know. I have a really bad memory, so petty grievances just go by. It's only sort of long-term grudges that ever stick with me.
All right. Well, that's a different one. Actually, that's a different number. Let's see if it comes up next.
I'm excited.
Oh, I feel like I really owned it there. I felt good about that. Hang on. Ooh. I don't know what I think they're going to do to me. If they come at me at speed. Balls coming at you at speed. Encounters with famous people.
Oh, I thought balls coming at you at speed was a topic.
Encounters with famous people.
We'll come back to that, Sarah.
Yeah.
But
Catherine has. Is that Catherine? Do you have one?
My pen.
Yep. She followed the rules.
Was that me or Sarah? Did you hear me? I was clapping frantically.
Oh, you go first.
Thank you. I think most people meet more famous people than they actually realise, because I see famous people all the frigging time.
You do book them for your shows, though, Hannah, and that doesn't count if it's your job.
No, I mean, just out and about in life. I think people think I'm making it up when I tweet, I'm sitting next to Frankie Dettori on a train. Which did happen to me recently, but I think nobody else in the carriage, well, actually, one woman noticed, because she said to him, are you the fella with the horses? Yeah, but everybody else didn't notice, so I think it's about, it's quite easy to meet famous people.
It's the worst, though. It's the worst when you spot a famous person there's no one to share the moment with, because I was in a lift at Caledonian Road Station with Tom Hardy once, and I was really close to him, I could smell him, he smelled lovely, very clean, and I was staring at the side of his head and he was resolutely looking at his Kindle, and I was looking around. I was like, somebody verify this sighting of Tom Hardy, because when I tell people, they won't believe me.
Well, I met Armando Iannucci, and it was so exciting that I actually had to take a fag break halfway through it and then go back. So it's just like, I have to send someone a message to tell him. And I sometimes now think, if I ever met him again, he would go,
halfway through what? Doing what with it?
Halfway through having a conversation with Armando Iannucci, I was like,
right, okay. That sounded just very strange. I've got to take it. Do you want to just have a brief pause in this interaction, Armando? I'm going to have a cigarette and then I'll come at you.
Yeah,
I could tell myself getting overexcited by the encounters. So I had to go, I have to go outside and calm the fuck down a bit.
And he had nothing else to do but to just sit around and wait for you to come back.
We were in a green room.
Oh, right, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. If I stay there, I'm enjoying meeting you, so just hang on.
Yeah, I'll get myself together. But yeah, Tom Hardy, I don't think would have taken that feedback. Tom, could you just wait there a minute? I'm going to go and breathe into a paper bag, and then I'm going to come back and make a really good impression.
Possible. Yeah.
But then I chased him down the road. And I rang, I rang my husband, and he was like, I was like, oh my god, I just saw Tom Hardy, and he's like, why are you breathing heavily down the phone like a sex pest? I was like, because I'm following him. He's like, what will you do when you catch him? And I was like, I don't know. I just didn't want to let him out of my sight for no reason. I just walked away. I was like, okay.
How far did that go?
How was he? Was he nice?
Well, I didn't. I just. It wasn't appropriate for me to arrive behind him, heavy breathing, and then say weird stuff, as my husband pointed out. So I did stand down. But I still wonder, we could be best friends now. Maybe
it's a shame.
There's a sliding door scenario where he was thrilled to meet me, and yeah.
I guess so.
Now we'll never know.
What was a great name?
Catherine, you clicked your pen. Have you got one?
Yeah, I was just wondering how Hannah's actual encounter when she wasn't smoking was he nice?
He was lovely, and we were at a literary festival, so I and we were both reading the same book, so again that was very exciting. He was lovely.
What was the book? Do you remember what the book was?
It was Hillary Clinton's biography.
Nice. What went
That's
wrong?
Fortunate. It would have been good if it was
which isn't that great a book, but it did give me something to talk to Armin.
It's really not, but what a time. I prefer her first one. I mean, to be so accomplished that you can write two.
Yeah, Catherine liked it before she was cool, everyone. She preferred her first album, difficult second one, not so much.
I liked Hillary Clinton before everyone thought she had anything to say for herself. And then too much to say for herself. Patriarchy. In answer to your question, yes, we have met. Well, I was clicking so madly because I wanted to get in there before Sarah, because we went to Wagamama's once, we went to Wagamama's once. I tell a lie. We've been to Wagamama's 100,000.
Where, Catherine? Where have we been?
Because
Wagamama,
which is singular, and yet their chain is so plural. We've been there a lot because we are unimaginative white ladies, and we like some pretty mild, spicy food. Anywho, we've been.
You know, if you have the katsu curry, you can ask for more sauce for free.
That is great intel, of which I was not aware.
There we go. You can have that. They just give it to you. You don't have to pay.
Wagamama because I like food that I can drink.
Anywho, we're there for all of our many reasons, and I went to the loo while they were seating Sarah, and then I came back to the table, and Sarah was just talking to the old guy at the table next to us, and I was like, for fuck's sake, obviously, because I was like, first of all, I don't know this guy. I don't want to talk to some stranger. We're in Wagamama, so obviously, we're in a rush because nobody would choose to eat there if they had all the time in the world. Secondly, I was like, I'm going to sit down. He's going to realize this tiny boy he's talking to is actually a woman, and she's dating a woman, and we have to go through that, and also then we still have to sit there and eat. So I'm like, what a saga. This is going to be heinous.
Anywho, tiny boy.
That would be you in this situation. Then I was like...
That's exactly what tiny boy would do, Sarah.
Right? Yeah, let me prove my point. Then it takes up so much of your face when you do that. And then I get closer to this rando old man who's now talking us here, and I'm not feeling a lot of joy or generosity in my heart, clearly, as evidenced by this anecdote. And then I get
your personality.
Indeed, especially when I'm hungry. And then I get closer and I realize the old dude is Bill Nye. And I was like,
yeah, that's quite
cool.
cool.
I guess we'll chat to the old guy. All right.
So my point of view was Catherine goes off to the toilet. I go to get seated. I sit facing the wall because she likes to face out. And as I sit, there's just a man opposite me. And I looked at him and he just looked back at me. And then he went, hello.
Oh.
And I was like, hi, it's you from the films. And then we sat and chatted and ate some gyoza with him.
Nice.
He's very nice. He's having the firecracker chicken, something or other, and he's a big fan of very spicy food. But then we were like, we're being so mature and so like respectful by not making a deal of the fact that he is who he is. We're asking for a photo. Let's just let the man have his dinner. And he was actually very warm and he chatted to us the whole for a good.
I grabbed his dick under the table.
No, you didn't.
And he was like, Catherine, can you control your son?
Right. And I'm like, oh, for God's sake, not again. Get out from under the table. Anyway, pointed. You're not having any wine. So we're there, and we're like kind of like making eyes at each other as if to say, God, we're so London that we're not even asking. We're so respectful. I guess it's because we work in the arts, and so on and so forth. And then just as he was leaving, the whole fucking restaurant basically queued up for a selfie with him. But we've been the cool arts people, so now everyone else in Wagamama has a photo with Bill Nye except us. We actually spoke to Bill Nye.
We had dinner with him.
Isn't that worth more though than the photo, or not so much? No.
No, I don't even think we are. Maybe we're in the background if somebody's making me like.
My best celebrity story. Can I do one?
Yeah.
I was once drunk at a party and I stood on Andrew Lloyd Webber's toe and he apologised to me.
Nice.
Yeah, very small feet, so it was quite an achievement.
You made a note, did you? You were like, this is not in any way your fault. They're very close to you.
It's remarkable that I've got that under my foot because it's such a small digit that.
Did you tell him that?
No, I didn't.
No, you went.
And our friends have a story about Andrew Lloyd Webber where apparently their friend was at an audition and she was singing and he cried and he just sat. It was terrifying apparently because he sat there watching her, staring at her, and then he just ate his tear.
Oh, that's horrible.
He terrifies me actually.
Oh no, that's sinister.
Yeah. Imagine being alone in an audition room and somebody does that. You'd be like, I don't want this job.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's move on. Let's move very quickly on. What a horrible story.
Well, let's just say allegedly, and then move on. You can't be accusing people of eating tears.
Oh, for God's sake!
That's going to be the Daily Nail tomorrow, isn't it?
That one's gone. I don't know what that was. It's rolled away, and I'm too lazy to go and get it. Oh, funny enough, Ball 28 is toilets. We've already covered that.
We've definitely covered it.
Oh, I have a toilet story we haven't covered.
All right, come on then.
So a friend of mine, again, and it involves famous people. A friend of mine, I live in Cambridge, and Cambridge is sort of not big, but it's not a small town, but the town centre bit is tiny. So if you live in Cambridge for any length of time, you do encounter loads of people like Mary Beard and stuff like that. So a friend of mine is in a restaurant and she starts to feel funny and she thinks, oh my God, I'm going to like shit myself. So she goes to the ladies' toilets and it is full and there's a queue. So she's like, she does the only other choice other than shit herself is to go to the disabled toilet. So she goes in there and she recovers herself, as it were, and then she hears a voice outside saying, "You okay in there?" Because there's been a queue. Obviously, there's been a delay, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And she comes out, and outside is this woman that's spoken to her and Stephen Hawking.
Oh, sweet Jesus!
Oh, no.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, I'm sure he would have understood. You've got to go. You've got to go.
Not only is he disabled, but he's definitely smart enough to work out what she's been doing.
Absolutely.
That's a fucking shit.
Catherine, you don't have to be like the smartest man in the world to understand what's going on there. It's not like he's bloody. He walks in and he's like, good thing somebody with my brains in this bathroom because I can deduce that he is.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I imagine there was an aroma as well. You don't want to come out of any bathroom into somebody going straight back in after you, do you? That's not a thing.
Never.
No.
Not a windowless disabled bathroom.
No, they've
Why
got.
are they always windowless?
I don't know.
That's sinister.
Possibly because they're always an afterthought.
I had to make a map of the work toilets for the automatic flushes because some of them too aggressive, so they flush while you sat there. Some of them didn't flush at all. So I had a map that I would share with people on their first day, and I sort of became known as like the girl with the toilet map. And I was trying to help. It's like, you don't want my help. You just be there doing that thing for minutes of the day.
Did you like draw it out once and photocopy it, or was this like a repeated?
I was just making notes on my phone.
Yeah.
Third cubicle, no. The fourth cubicle,
okay.
I got so aggressive with it because it was so not sensitive. I ripped it out. It was just like wires. I was like, put it back in. I was trying to help. And I was new when this all started to manifest, and so that became the thing I talk to people about. Like, hi, I'm new. I do PR. How about those automatic toilet flushes, eh? Like,
I think, given that you ripped out one of the sensors in your work bathroom, you're lucky to just be known as the girl with the toilet map.
it was already loose. I don't think someone loosened it. It was not. I didn't.
Right. Okay.
I didn't have a Hulk moment or a tantrum.
I mean, okay. It sounds like you didn't have a hug moment. It sounds like you might have had a tantrum.
I mean, I can neither confirm or deny these allegations. Do you have a toilet that works now, Catherine? What's the news?
How's the toilet looking, Catherine?
Okay, so now I have a toilet story.
Okay.
So it's fine. It's now connected.
Oh God, I need to go and look.
I can look at it. It's the toilet seat. Like I think that like the bowl is now bigger than the seat. Why would you choose a toilet seat that's smaller than the bowl?
Did you pick that seat, or did they bring that seat with them?
Because we rent in London, so obviously you get zero say in anything that happens. So you just have to say bigger than the bowl. It's huge. It's smaller than the bowl, is what I'm saying, because it cuts off at the end. But it's also wider than the bowl.
I'm going to go and have a look.
I want to see. Hannah, are you in the house as well? Can we all be in that square?
It's wide, but it's too short. You know what I'm saying?
Are we literally, we're doing this. We're all going to the toilet.
Look at this. Okay, so look, it's like too short.
Step back to the perspective.
It's too short.
That's not right.
But it's too wide for them.
So the guy just left. He was like, job well done, patted it and went. Like,
he's like, hey, can you have a look? And I just had to go, like, what was I going to say? Like, I'm too polite. So I just said, yeah, I guess we have to, like, we could put a little step, Sarah, for our little butts. I don't...
Also, you wouldn't have been able to tell that man what's wrong with it. He literally doesn't speak a word of English.
But also he knew, guys. Don't think he didn't know that didn't fit. He just didn't care.
He came in and I said to him, can I get you anything? And he was like, what? I'm sorry. And I was like, okay. You know what? Thank you.
Fine. But my bigger thing is that's not why you can't explain it. It's more like if you put on that toilet seat, then you don't know that's like we have different standards.
Catherine, not everyone has the brain of Stephen Hawking. Okay. You know.
You know what? We're the toilet seat now. And
we've already covered this.
I feel like we're in problematic waters, but nonetheless, we have a toilet seat, and let's face it, we don't need
in problematic toilet waters if that toilet seat was any wider.
There's a definite theme to this show.
We don't have to do anything to it other than let our asses on it. It's fine.
Is there a capacity that it might pinch though? Like with the. Do you know what? Let's just carry on.
I just my my toilet seat for too long.
I've thought too much about your toilet, and I'm going to move on with the box.
Please. I'm just going to hand this in.
Oh.
Okay.
It's a new toilet seat, Catherine. Brand new.
Still.
Can you eat
Okay.
dinner off that?
Worst
Please
jobs
don't.
you've ever had. Whatever it is, you could be fixing ill-fitting toilet seats, so we should all feel grateful that we never had to do that. Yeah.
Does put everything in perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Worst job.
Worst job ever. Worst job I have one.
Take your pen.
Go on then.
Worst job. It's quite a tight running competition between. I used to so I used to work at night outside at night in Dublin Airport, selling tickets for the bus that would get you from the airport to town, and people, let me tell you, who are traveling at night in a foreign country are their singular worst selves. It's usually they're tired, they have children, they've lost their luggage. They'd rather be getting a taxi, but the taxis are astronomical, so they're getting the bus. And I was a child, basically, trying to count out their money and tell them where to go. And it was quite stressful, and it was very, very cold. And my boss was my dad, who worked there as his weekend job, which at least had the perk of me being able to be like, Dad, I'm cold, and I have my period, so I'm going to go in the shelter. But it was terrible. But that wasn't my worst job. I think my worst job was working at
Wait, tell them about what the Americans would say to you.
My dad so many Americans would come through the airport and want a photo with me because I looked like a pre-Sean, as they would tell me. My dad, you look like a pre-Sean. Do you mean leprechaun? Do you know that they don't exist? Anywho, somebody would ask for a photo with me that my dad would end up charging them. Yeah, €5. So that's a fun fact about me. Not even my most demeaning job, because I used to work at my local cinema, which was very exciting on the one hand, because, there's a celebrity meeting. I once met Ronan Keating with his now ex-wife going to the cinema.
What fun.
What a baller. But there is nothing quite as demeaning as having to, when kids go to the cinema, I don't know if you know this, but, it seems like it's compulsory for teenagers at the cinema to not just finish their popcorn and put it on the ground, but to pour every single kernel of popcorn on the ground, and then pour every sweet on the ground, and then to empty their cups onto that stuff, and then still wait for you to have to kick them out because they're obviously still busy fingering each other. So the cinema was the worst because you had to clean the toilets, and then between that you had to ask people to dislodge from one another so that you could clean their shit off the ground. So.
Dislodge is such a horrible way of describing
it. A horrible
pretty bad. But yeah.
That is pretty bad.
Yeah, no, it's pretty bad. And you just don't think, I went for a cashier job at the cinema, got it, and they were like, cool, you have to check the toilets every 30 minutes and clean them if they're dirty. And I don't think I just love film. I just love film. And they were like, cool. You aren't cleaning the toilets then. I was like, film, no, film.
Did you still love film when you left? Or not so
Not
much?
for a while afterwards.
Scared to go back into cinema.
Or with popcorn, that's all I'm saying. Don't leave it on the ground. So stressful. Anywho, I'm sure somebody has a worse job than I do, guys.
I don't know, guys. Is that the worst job of the board?
When I first finished university, I worked at my parents live in Newport Pagnell, which is near Milton Keynes. I went and stayed with them for a while. I got a job in the Coca-Cola factory there, and I was one of only 2 women that worked there, and the other one was 60. And I lasted about 4 days. There was just basically an entire queue of men just walking past going, I bet there's a woman working over there. We'll just come and have a look at you. And it was horrible. But, yeah. I also briefly worked at the Irish Sun as a sub-editor. And I absolutely hated it. I used to work Sundays there. And they, if you were a freelance, which I was, they wouldn't give you a card, which was one of the swipe access cards, but that did absolutely everything in that entire building. The vending machines ran on it. all of the interior doors ran on it. So not only did I used to sit there and nobody spoke to me and was like, they were really unfriendly, I used to have to ask someone to take me to the toilet.
Or tailgate them.
Yeah.
There's no dignity in that, is there?
No, I lasted about
As
3
an
months.
adult, excuse me, I go to the toilet.
Yeah. It's like, where are you going? Nowhere.
That's no good. No.
Yeah, all great stories. Like, pretty much all right, actually, for jobs. I worked in Tesco's when I was 17 and became a beacon for all the weird men because I was chatty. And, you know, sometimes weird men think chatty is you'd like to come out with them. So there was one guy that I used to have to hide in the bakery when he came in because he asked me out once and was so angry when I said no, he started to cry and said, I haven't had a date for 20 years. And I was like, wow, I wasn't born the last time you had a date. Great.
Oh, nobody shocked.
Specifically your fault.
I know. He was so mad at me. So yeah,
what a great place to hide as well. To the bakery.
Yeah, and then like one of the guys would like knock some donuts on the floor and be like, "Oh no, we can't sell them now." So I guess it wasn't bad actually.
Sounds great.
Mild sex pestery, but I got donuts. So
yeah, we did that in the cinema too. Oh no, I accidentally broke open this bag of M&M peanuts. What a shame.
It cannot be sold.
Oh, well. Yeah.
Right, I'm going again. Ooh. I'm excited each time. Drunk behaviour. Yours or someone else's. Just to make it fun.
I'm nervous. Catherine. No.
Sarah gets to a point at which point she refuses to do anything for herself. So she is capable of doing it, but there's a point at which she'll lie, like flat, like completely like dead weight, and won't but across the bed so that I can't get into it, and will wait there with shoes and clothes on until I fully undress her, put her pajamas on. And one night this got to beyond that level because she was like, and I was like, yeah. Uh-huh.
I argue that I was not in a position to do this for myself.
And she was like, I need you to take my contact lenses out.
Oh no!
No. So I said, no.
And Catherine's brother was there.
And I can't press this enough.
Catherine's brother was there, and he popped up behind her shoulder like, I'll do it, because he was equally like,
no.
Catherine was like, your hands are clean.
And also his hands are like fucking like shovels. So I was like, get your big filthy shovels away from her. I was like, no, you're gonna have to do it yourself. So I was like, come on, Sarah, open one eye, and then the other, and she was like, no, I can't do it. Then she went, please, please do it, please. And I was like, I can't, please. And I can't stress this enough. I didn't want to. But when you love someone, and they are clearly...
You set them free. I needed to be freed.
They're incapable of doing something for themselves.
You freed me.
You help them. So I went to wash my hands, and I came back in, and she's like, got it! And I was like, okay, here we go. And I have my finger in her eye. I'm trying to get it off. I've never had contact, so it's quite stressful, and it feels so grim. And then I was like, Sarah, I can't get it. And she was like, oh, I think I already did it. I was like, are you fucking
I was so drunk I forgot how that ended.
I did it. Sorry. I was like,
oh, but it's nice to know she would have done it. That's lovely. That's a beautiful story.
I wouldn't. Oh.
It was a test and you passed.
It was so gross. I said no so many times, and then I agreed to under duress, and then I wasn't even there. Grim.
Oh.
That's my story. That Sarah's drunken behavior.
Sarah, do you have a counter? Or are you just going to
Do you
take
know
it?
what? Really annoyingly, Catherine doesn't. Has there ever been an occasion where you've like gotten too drunk? I think if you are that drunk, then I'm equally as drunk. It's never rarely that.
The problem is that if I'm my drunkest, Sarah's drank at least as much, but probably more, and is a much smaller person than I am, even though you can't really tell because it looks like she's such a big man. I can see it getting annoyed. I know, it's so confusing. She's so tiny when it comes to...
I'm not.
So big and yet such a small capacity to drink.
Yeah.
And so if I'm drunk, she's hammered. So
it's a perfect crime.
I always... It's so annoying because I never get to just be the one who's like, because there's somebody going, take my shoes off.
Your like MO is that you will like not do anything and just go to bed. Like you'll like not clean your teeth, not take your makeup off, not even get changed.
That's
like,
not funny.
It's not funny. It just happens. I got nothing.
To be fair, I've usually done all those things for you, and I'm fucking tired.
You never clean my teeth for me. I always get my teeth done.
Oh, yeah.
I go in straight away, teeth, bedroom, lie down, wait for help.
If this feels planned, Sarah, this doesn't feel like I'm drunk. This feels like you've got a plan and it's working.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. I concoct the plan when I'm at my drunkest.
Nice. Hannah, have you got any drunk stories, or are you just too cool for him?
Am I just a what?
Too cool to be drunk and disorderly?
Oh my God, no. I mean, I've got like...
Story not make me sound cool?
Every bone that I've broken in my body, I broke while I was drunk. I am an absolute, just like whirling dervish of chaos that falls over and then says, no, I'm fine. And then like discovers that like wakes up with all their fingers like poking in the other direction.
I did that the other day. I had one espresso martini the other day and fell over.
Oh. Oh, that's a proper playground injury as well. That's like a child's injury.
Just skinned my elbow.
One of the funniest things I ever saw of somebody else being drunk, I'd been to see Eddie Izzard at the arena in Wembley, which is not a great place to see comedy. But anyway, it's absolutely...
Where? What was the
Wembley
venue?
Arena.
Oh, no. It's not.
So when you come down the stairs to the train station, to the tube station, obviously they've got trains waiting for you there because they know that this thing's going to unload. So but it's absolutely chaos, just shitloads of people like just milling around. Loads of people are really drunk, and the platform's really packed. And there's this group of lads, and they all jump on the carriage except one of them, who sort of jumps and then he staggers backwards and he falls and he hits his head on the platform really hard, and his head between the two carriages of the trains, right? And his mates just go off, and everyone goes into this blind panic and like trying to pull this bloke up and get him up. Because I don't think those trains are going to move imminently, but I think they were going to move eventually, and that was going to be really bad. So they start like trying to pull him up, and somebody's like going, "Oh, I'm a nurse," and everyone's like flapping around. And my brother shouted into the train, "Mate, your mate has like fallen over, like come and pick him up." And this guy who's like, "Hey," comes and he sticks his head out the train carriage and he looks and he goes, "Steve, stop fucking around." And then he just walks back into the train.
Oh my God.
And did Steve just go, "Oh yeah, all right then, climb out and just get on the carriage"? Sorry everyone. Like that's how it's done.
What?
Yeah.
Steve,
that's the difference.
God.
Going out with your mates when you're a lad and going out with your mates when you're a bird, in that sense, they tend to like pick you up off the ground, take your contact lenses out, etc.
Exactly. Yeah.
But we've only got 3 minutes left, so let's go around and talk about everything that everybody is doing. Hannah, we'll start with you. What are you promoting at the moment? Where can people see you again?
Oh, well, I don't know. Oh, we're doing standard issue gigs again over like this Zoom because we missed them. They're not the same, obviously, as the live shows. Our next one will be out, I think, like the first or second week of August, and that is Mickey and I and Sophie Duca and Tanya Moore, which should be great. And then standard issue podcast every week, and on Sunday we do a long interview.
Sometimes I go on and talk about personal finance. It's really fun. I do research and everything. I put far more work into that than my actual job. Just joking, people from work. And Sarah and Catherine, you have got a couple of things, haven't you? So Sarah, you talk about the podcast, and then Catherine, you talk about your live comedy.
Okay.
So Catherine and I have a podcast out together.
You're pointing the wrong way.
Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I?
Well, we have.
We have.
There we go.
Yeah.
A podcast together. It's called You'll Do. It's about relationships. I think some of the stories we maybe told tonight are in some of the episodes. So that's just a little taster for you. And you can find that wherever you listen to your podcasts.
And what else?
Find out more on the toilet situation.
Oh, we're going to be live streaming the toilet situation. Yeah, we're going to be. That's going to be live. Yeah, live.
I'm really invested in it
through the night. Yeah.
Sarah's done a terrible job of explaining that our podcast is about the imperfect sides of relationships and how hard they can be.
I thought I only had like a few seconds to do it. I thought this was like a speed.
It took a lot of time trying to figure out where to point. But also,
so basically, this is our podcast. It's just Catherine and I bickering.
We love it.
We saw a standard issue live ages ago, didn't we? One of our first dates, we went to Leicester Square and we saw Sandy Topstick and
we didn't get to sit beside each other, but we had a great time.
I was at that one. Oh, that's nice.
And Sharon Morgan, yes.
Yes.
Claudia Winkleman, it was amazing.
It was so good. I was at that one.
No way.
We're all there in the same room. That's so cool.
That's fun. We also have a Thursday night gig called Gigless, where we have stand-ups come on, like well-established comics coming on doing new material and new acts coming on and doing stuff. They're testing for stuff, and it's been really good. And the last one we had like 200 people, 200 audience, and we had Lou Sanders and Ivo Graham. And this week we have Fern Brady and Nigel Ong and
Olga Kopp.
Thank you, and somebody from the television who are keeping top secret. And
Secret guest.
And I'll be there because I've got one of those front row tickets. So I will see you there
Yay!
and weirdly, intensely look at you for way too long. And I'm doing this again next week with Beck Hill and Smack the Pony's Fiona Allen and Colleen Cheaton Jarrett. Lesser known, but absolutely amazing. And it's the day before my birthday, so everyone should come. Thank you all for watching, and thank you guys for this. Has been so much fun. And this is available to watch for however long Twitch things are available to watch. So you can watch it back. Right, I'll see you all soon.
Bye.